just like that, intelligence had trumped the larger bird's position. The man smiled at the insignificant victory. He spent the next several minutes in deep thought, contemplating what lay ahead for the next 22 minutes. His life had always been a series of calculations and equations. Now, he crunched the numbers one last time, running through the schematics in his mind. Everything had to be perfect. Precision was critical. Connecting all the dots in his head, he affirmed everything was as it should be. Satisfied, he got up from the bench as a group of pigeons parted the way. He strolled down through the park toward Tremont Street to his morning's destination. The coffee shop wasn't full, which meant a seat would be available. In the 3 weeks he'd been coming here, he was unable to find a seat on only 2 occasions. He was glad that wouldn't be the case today. It was busier than it had been in recent weeks, as summer's grip yielded its hold to the coming winter. During these last few weeks of cool temps, the local citizenry had ventured out en masse to enjoy the brisk mornings. Pedestrian foot traffic jammed the walkways as they scurried about their day. He walked to the counter, paid cash for a medium black coffee, and then walked toward a small table set along the wall. He grabbed a copy of USA Today from the rack before taking his seat. He perused the headlines, but didn't read any of the articles. He'd already scoured the internet before leaving his small efficiency apartment on Boylston Street. He didn't read the national papers. His sources of information came from specialized access points far beyond the scope and investigative source abilities of even the biggest media conglomerates. The newsprint went up like a force field in front of him. He was invisible again, disappearing behind the gray rectangle of paper as he sipped the coffee. For a cafe that prided itself on its artisan ability to make the unique drinks listed on the menu, such as a half-calf decaf with a twist of lemon, it had fallen short on the ability to make a simple cup of coffee. Considering himself a coffee connoisseur, he knew that the right blend of beans brewed to perfection required no sugar, no cream. What was in his cup was anything but. Although the aroma of the cafe was wonderfully sweet, the coffee tasted burnt and weak. It was barely above room temp, and he liked his piping hot regardless of time of year. Disappointed, he sipped at it with disdain. With each sip, his mood soured further. Peering up from the paper, he scanned the small space. A young mother in her early 20s was seated nearby with her son, who looked about 3 years old. His dirty blonde hair was a mangled sea of wild curls, and he was still in his pajamas. His mother had obviously not seen it important to dress her child before taking him out. She uncapped a chocolate milk and unsheathed a Nutri-Grain bar, sliding it over to him while she enjoyed an iced latte with a blueberry scone. It was only a matter of seconds before half of the milk ended up on the boy's pajama shirt, soaking the image of the Dabosaurus Rex, a cartooned Tyrannosaurus, striking the popular dance move's recognizable pose. Absorbed in whatever message she was reading on her phone, the mother didn't seem to notice that her son was now wearing his chocolate milk. He wasn't close enough to see the screen, nor did he care enough to try. Laughter erupted at a table near the exit. 5 people, wearing neon yellow, form-fitting lycra shirts and tight bike shorts, were chuckling loudly at what one of the bikers had said. A pale, red-haired cyclist with a neatly groomed beard continued whatever story had lit the group afire. They were brightly colored, gregarious people, calling attention to themselves in the cafe's small, quiet setting. They were the toucans. As a pigeon, he felt nothing but disgust. The redhead continued his story with more fervor now that he had engaged the group. He was now telling it as if everyone in the cafe wanted to hear about somebody named Chris who had apparently ridden full speed